Hey guys, cannedcream here, CC for short, and welcome to my 1000 subscriber special. Before we really begin, I want to take a moment to thank every single one of you. You guys are so awesome for watching my videos, for subscribing to me, for leaving your comments, for leaving some really good questions for today. You have no idea just how much it means to me that you guys do this for me. I am so happy. So, before I start ranting and rambling, and believe me, I can go on all day with how excited I am that you guys are here sharing this experience with me. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the thick of this video, because I've read your questions and I have a lot of rambling to do. And because I have so much crap to say, I'm splitting this video up into 4 parts, because I realize that not everyone's going to be interested in every single topic. So this way, if there's a part you're just not interested in, you can skip to another one or just stop at any point. So here's how we're going to set it up. First, we're going to have My Little Pony related questions here at the very beginning. Followed by that will be other media, which is anything that has to do with other cartoons, movies, songs, books, anything else that's not pony related. Following that will be personal questions about me and my life and my preferences. And at the very end, we're going to have miscellaneous. This is everything that didn't fit into one of the previous categories, or people who had multiple part questions that couldn't be put into one category. So, the indentations will be here at the side of the video. Go ahead and click this part that you want to skip to at any point. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. My apologies if I screw up anyone's name. At the very start, Aiden wants to know, will Derpy Hooves be making the 7th element? If not, will she be in an episode once more? Okay, I should probably start off this video by mentioning an old video of mine. The Season 5 spoiler video that I did a while ago. I am about to break some people's hearts here, but that video, the Season 5 spoilers, that was fake. That was an April Fool's joke. Nothing I said during that video was real at all. In fact, like, most of the things that you heard were written by A and Y as a big joke that he wanted a big collaboration to do. There's about 6 or 7 of us who made the exact same kind of video. You know, I was in on it, he was in on it, Silver Quill did one, I think maybe Golden Fox was also one of the other people. There was quite a few of us. I am very sorry for anyone I just upset, but that is the case. The only thing on there that wasn't one of A and Y's ideas was actually the Derpy thing, which was just some BS that I made up because that's what I wanted to see. So, no, there will not be a 7th element. It will not be Derpy. I am so sorry. Please don't unsubscribe. I need you people. But as for the second part of your question, will Derpy be in episodes again? I'm thinking probably yes. It may not ever be Rainbow Falls levels again, but I would be shocked after what we've seen in Season 4 if she never showed up again. So I think the chances are very good. Andrew Vasquez says, if you could ask any pony in Ponyville out on a date, who would you ask? Who would it be, and what would your first date be like? Alright, I am going to say the absolute obvious, which if you've watched me for any length of time, you know what I'm about to say. Luna. I would totally ask Luna out on a date. And here is how I'm thinking that would go. You know, late at night, you know, stars are out, moon's out, very beautiful night sky. Go down to a lake, lay out a blanket, set out a picnic basket, have a couple of candles around, have some nice mood lighting. You know, a very simple, very romantic sort of moonlight dinner under the stars. Angela wants to know what my thoughts are on the non-pony animals of Equestria, more specifically the griffins. That is a good question. I actually really do like the griffin race, and I feel like they're horribly underplayed in this show. Like, they keep teasing us with these griffins. We have Gilda, we had that Griffin chef from Mystery on the Friendship Express, and we saw them during the Equestria games. We really do need to see more. I really want to see more of the Griffins. They are cool. You are cool for liking them, Angela. Bandit the dog, nice reference, wants to know what I think of the Diamond Dogs. I think they are a cool reference to David Bowie. Other than that, they're kind of generic, dumb villains. I mean, they're not bad. I don't mean to say like they're terrible, but I guess is a good answer to that question. Babroni9514 asks, what is your favorite MLP fanfic? And if you don't have one, or if I don't read them, why? I actually don't read a lot of fan fiction, just in general. There's no real reason for it. I guess it's because there's just so much fan fiction that it's hard to know what's really good, what's worth reading. I have read some, and of the ones I have read, the one I really enjoyed the most was this fic called No Need for Words. It was a romance fic between Final Scratch and an OC character who happened to be deaf. And the way that the writer did it was really cute and really clever. What he or she, it might have been a girl actually, what they did was, because, the main character can't talk and can't hear, all the conversations between him and Vinyl are handwritten on notes. So what they did was they took like a vector of a torn piece of paper and they put a handwriting font, two separate handwriting fonts for his dialogue and her dialogue, and added those into the story. It looks really cool. I really do like that one. It was No Need for Words. If you haven't already read it and you like kind of sappy romance fics, I definitely suggest that one. Bloom S. Utonium asks, what is your favorite, and I mean favorite, season of MLP? That would actually be season 4, the one we just had. This is the season that we had Princess Twilight Sparkle, we had Rarity Takes Manhattan, we had Pinkie Pride, we had Maud Pie, we had Twilight's Kingdom. It was such a badass season. It was so cool. I feel like the writers got a little bit more leeway this time around. Like, they're kind of being allowed a little bit more to play to the older demographic that they had caught. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's me just putting my own personal bias on it. Either way, this is the one I enjoyed the most. Like, if I could only watch one season for the rest of my life, it would be season 4. Maybe season 5 would be better, but for right now, I feel like this was a really good one. Bluray 3 has a couple of questions here. First one is, what are you looking forward to the most in season 5? That would be, hopefully, better explanations on some of the side characters. Letting some of our secondary and background and supporting cast get a little more screen time. I don't know if that's going to happen. I hope it does. He wants to know, how many more subscribers do you think you'll need before you earn your cutie mark? Oh god. Blue, that is not a subscriber thing. That is a me thing. Cannedcream the pony will earn his cutie mark as soon as Cannedcream the human being learns what the hell he is doing with his life. So that's not on you guys, that's on me. Lastly, he wants to know, which species in MLP do you want to see expanded upon the most? Once again, griffins, for the reason I said earlier. They keep teasing them. They look awesome. I want to know more about them. Do it, MLP. Chaos Slayer wants to know what my thoughts are on MLP Rainbow Rocks, as well as Flash Century and Sunset Shimmer. Rainbow Rocks, I don't have any kind of real thought about. Could be okay. I'm not expecting it to be good. I'm expecting it to be at best okay. Maybe they will have learned from Equestria Girls. I doubt it. This one actually kind of looks worse, but I'm a bad judge of things, so maybe it'll be great. I'm still going to watch it, so what do they care? They get my money either way. Flash Century, I don't hate him. He's boring. He's boring. He has no character. He's boring. Just whatever. Do whatever you want with him. I don't care. Sunset Shimmer, however, she does have potential, whereas Flash Century, I'm sorry, I don't think he does. Sunset Shimmer does have potential. She has a very cool background story, such an awesome origin. She is one of the few villains in this series I think could really be a rival for Twilight. A lot of people say Trixie is a rival. I don't agree. I think Trixie is a good foil for Twilight, but Trixie does not match up. Sunset Shimmer can match up against Twilight, so having her back as an actual villain would be cool. Claire wants to know who is my favorite MLP character and why. Now, for as much as I gush about Luna, actually, when it comes to favorite, we're really in a dead tie between Luna and Derpy. These are my two favorite characters. Luna, because I empathize with her so much. I really know what it feels like to try your absolute hardest with something and just to have it all fall apart. I know how heartbreaking that is. I know how... I understand why she turned into Nightmare Moon. You know, how do you not feel bad for somebody who just wanted to be loved so badly and just had her heart broken by the people she was looking after? And I love how when she came back, you know, when she turned back into Luna, how even during the events of Luna Eclipsed, when she had the chance to turn back to Nightmare Moon, when any other cartoon would have taken their ex-villain and turned them into a villain again, Luna stayed strong. She stayed the course. She stayed herself. She decided to put her love of her subjects above her need to be loved by them. She's a strong female character. She's awesome. She also has a great design and a beautiful voice, and I shouldn't love a cartoon horse this much, but I do. As for Derpy, I admit a lot of my love of Derpy comes from what the fans have done with her. I especially love her representation in Doctor Who's An Assistant, as well as the Love Struck Derpy comic on Tumblr. She's cute, she's adorable, she's always smiling, she always seems to be trying so hard for everyone around her. I really like her when she's played as kind of a well-meaning ditz. Like, she knows she's ditzy, but she does not let that get her down. She still stays strong to who she is. That's why Luna and Derpy are my two #1 favorites, and will always be tied for #1. Okay, Dale Rockman wants to know, which song from MLP do I like? My #1 favorite song from MLP is Bab's Seed from One Bad Apple. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the lyrics, maybe it's just the way it sounds, maybe it's because the CMC just keeps getting awesome songs. Definitely one of my favorites. And McQueen wants to know, do you think they'll ever make an official MLP game? I think there are like some tablet games, aren't there? I mean, if you're talking like a legit PC or console game, probably. We'll probably get one eventually, and it'll probably be terrible. So I would not get your hopes up. Though I do think MLP would lend itself very well to an RPG. Something to think about. I don't know. Fiction Fan 0, Flash Century, yay or nay? Like I already said, man, he bores me. It's not yay or nay, it's meh. Grace Lied wants to know, what would you do if Luna died? Listen here, you sick bastard. Do you think this is a game? Okay, Jackie, what is your question? I need something to get my mind off of dead Luna. What do you want to see more of Season 5? I already answered that. Oh, I'm sorry. I already answered that one. Okay, something else then. Let me think of something else. Other than expanded characters, what I would like to see is more world building. I would definitely like to see more of how Equestria works, what the outlying countries around Equestria look like, what other cultures are like. That would be cool as well. Camino, is that Camino? I hope I'm saying that right. Camino wants to know, what do I think about the relationship between ponies and dragons? Twilight already says pretty well herself what that is in Dragon Quest. She says that ponies know next to nothing about dragons because they're just too scary to study. I think dragons are kind of like this almost Hunnish tribal sort of system that's kind of moving from place to place. They're never in one location for any real length of time. I think like the ponies stay out of the dragon's way. The dragons, for the most part, stay out of the ponies' way. And everything sort of works out on its own like that. Okay, Caitlin Preston asks, if you had to choose between any of the main 6 to be your best friend, who would you choose and why? As well as, am I scared of Pinkamena? Of the main 6 to choose for my BBBFF, which wouldn't be a BBBFF because they're not boys and we're not related. So for just the BFF, definitely Rainbow Dash. The reason I would pick Rainbow is that I like her competitive spirit. That's very much like me. I'm also quite competitive. I love how sort of blunt she is. You know, if she says what's off the top of her head, and that kind of honesty is really important. I love her loyalty. I love her lazy streak because that's a lot like me too. I'm lazy as hell half the time. And I love that secret inner nerd she has. She is so freaking adorable. Definitely Rainbow Dash. I know out of all the main 6, I would get along best with her, so she'd make a great friend. As for being afraid of Pinkamena, oh my god, yes! Are you crazy? Oh god! That is terrifying! Lightning Liam wants to know, what made me become a Luna fan, and what about her is awesome to you? It was definitely Luna Eclipse that turned me into a Luna fan. It was the way she was presented within that episode that made me really fall in love with her and her character. A lot of the reasons that I was saying before also apply to this question here. Everything about her character, her history, her story, her appearance, her voice. I love how regal she is. I love how she knows how to be a princess when she needs to be a princess, but she also knows how to just have fun when the situation is appropriate. Celestia, I feel like it's always in princess mode 24/7. At least we haven't seen her be anything other than Princess Celestia. I think she does that because she knows that's the pony she has to be for her subjects. Whereas Luna, I think, has found a good balance between being the ruler she needs to be and being this pony of the people. That's why I really, really enjoy Luna like I do. Matt wants to know who is my favorite background pony. If we're talking just background then, if Derpy still counts as a background pony, definitely Derpy. If we're elevating her from background pony thanks to like Rainbow Falls, if she's like secondary now because of that, then Vinyl Scratch. Very cool design. Once again, one of those things, I love what the fans have done to her character. If anyone needs more screen time, it's Vinyl. My Little Pony Brony Gal wants to know if I've ever heard of Legends of Equestria. I have. I have played it both the times that the free weekends have come out. I really enjoy it. It's a really cool idea. If you haven't already played it, definitely give it a play the next time it comes out again. The only problem is my internet connection is crap, so I can't handle MMOs. So that means, like, I can run around in Legends of Equestria just fine as my little cannedcream avatar. I can't do any of the attacks, and it takes forever to load from one section to the next. So I can't enjoy the game like normal people can. But it's still cool for what it is. Playful PIPA Pony asks, what is your favorite My Little Pony shipping? Ooh, that's a good one. I very much enjoy... Okay, Lyra and Bonbon, you will never convince me that's not canon. Lyra and Bonbon is awesome. Derpy and the Doctor, I very much enjoy that, though that's kind of more of a non-canon one. I still love it. And thanks to Janimations, I now ship Button Mash with Sweetie Belle so hard. RaptorRed has a couple of questions. What is my hope for the future of MLP seasons? Definitely more world building and more of a spotlight put on other characters besides the main 6. Who is my favorite of the main 6? Okay, my favorite of the main 6, actually, I know I was really swooning over Rainbow Dash for a while. I really do enjoy Rainbow Dash. I love her so much, but she's not my favorite. My favorite is actually Fluttershy, because I just identify with her more than any of the other main 6. So Fluttershy is my favorite out of them. Are there any characters you think should be put into more depth? Yes. Just about every background pony needs some more depth put to their characters. Other than that, if we're talking about ones that have actually had some real screen time, Celestia. Celestia, we need to see more of her. We need to see more of how she ticks and how she works. That would be cool. Are there any characters that the show's mentioned that you wish would appear? None that I can think of off the top of my head, except for, what was, T-Rex brother's name? I'm totally blanking on that. Him. I would like to see some more of him. Maybe Star Swirl. Maybe Star Swirl as well. Either or would be cool. Was that Rhines Harris wants to know what my favorite episode of MLP is? Favorite episode is Luna Eclipsed, for all the reasons I said before. It's a great Luna episode. It's a great episode overall. I really love seeing all the ponies in their costumes. I think this is one of the more creatively aesthetic episodes. So many references to other works kind of hidden in those costumes. It's so cool. I love it. Rosie wants to know what I want to see the most in Season 5, and what do I think about Discord and Fluttershy as friends. About Discord and Fluttershy, I like them as friends. I don't ship them like some people do. I don't even ship Discord with Celestia like some people do. I think they make a good friendship. It's like one of those weird opposites attract kind of things. You know, I think Discord adds a lot of life into Fluttershy's existence, and I think Fluttershy is a really good grounding agent for Discord. You know, she can put up with a lot of the crap that he has to do because he's Discord. Who else but Fluttershy could take that in such stride? Scott196 wants to know what my least favorite episode of MLP is. Oh boy. It would have to be, and I think I'm going to catch some crap for this, my least favorite episode would have to be It Ain't Easy Being Breezy. I do not like the Breezies. I think they look stupid. I don't like the way they sound. I don't like the way they were portrayed. I don't like the way that they were handled I think the entire episode suffered because of how poorly the Breezies were handled. Honestly, the only point of that episode I enjoyed was the Doctor's cameo with Roseluck. Like, that was it. That was everything else other than that 3-second span. The rest of the episode, I did not. It's my least favorite, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you liked it. I didn't like it. This is why I don't do episode reviews. StarBlazer wants to know what character I feel like has the most potential for growth, but needs more character development to flesh them out. Celestia. That is Celestia. We have only seen her in princess mode. I would like to see like some backstory of Celestia. Like, what was she like before she was princess? You know, how did she struggle to reach the challenge of princess? We've had some good insight into her more personal side, like when we got to see what her feelings were about banishing Luna, how deeply that really hurt her, but it could always use some more explanation. The RevenChrist wants to know which MLP villain I feel like should make a reappearance in Season 5. I'm going to actually say Sombra. I would love to see more of Sombra because he looked so cool and so menacing and so evil, and he had all these amazing powers. And it was insinuated he had even more power than we ever saw, but he had no character. He had no story. I don't even think he had a voice. Sombra could be really cool if given the chance to grow. So more Sombra would be great. The Twilight Thunder asks what I would do if I met Discord. The answer is run. Run far away. Discord is MLP's Joker. You have no idea what he's going to do to you, but it probably won't be good. Okay, that settles the MLP questions. Now we move on to other media. Dark164 asks, what is my favorite character from Marvel? I know this is super cliche, but Deadpool. I know he's very popular right now, but I still think he is cool. I first saw Deadpool in the very first Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. I did not know who he was before that. I just picked his character because I wanted to make a team of characters I never knew before, just see what they were like. I found him really funny and really cool, so then I started looking up more stuff about him, and it was about that time that he began to really blow up in popularity thanks to his video game appearances. I really hope that he does eventually get his own movie and that Ryan Reynolds does get to play him, because it would just be cool. It would just be cool. And I'm sorry if that's really mainstream, but it's my answer. It's how I feel. Dean wants to know what my favorite anime is. I don't watch enough anime. I like anime. I love anime. I just don't watch enough of it. So I don't have quite the palette that others might about this topic. But the one anime that I saw that I loved the most, beginning to end, was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Not the first one. Not Full Metal Alchemist, but Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the one that was actually based entirely off the manga, not the previous one that was still being made. The manga was being written, so once they reached the end point, they went off the rails with it. Nazi, magic, alternate universe, bullcrap. But Brotherhood was... I watched this with a friend of mine. We watched start to end. several episodes a night. It was really well written. It had these really sad, touching moments. It had these funny, hilarious moments. It had these heartwarming moments. I love how every character in that show, every single character got that one crowning moment of awesome. You know, everyone did something badass at some point. It's a great anime. It's one of my favorites. There are others that I really, really enjoy that are a lot more lesser known, I guess, than Brotherhood is, but I feel like Brotherhood really deserves any fame it gets. Mr. Overanalyzer wants to know if I'm a fan of comic book superheroes or superheroes in general. I love superheroes in general. I'm not a fan of comic books, just because I like having everything in a series. And so since comic books are constantly being written and rewritten and reinvented, and I can't keep up with it. I don't have the money or the means or the time to keep up with comic books, so I don't. I own a handful of comic books and graphic novels at best, but I still love the superhero genre. If you're asking about my favorite hero in general, I can't really pick one because it changes. I think Deadpool's a lot of fun, so I think that makes him great. I think Batman has the greatest interpretations in media, and I think The Question is kind of freaking awesome. So it always depends upon what context you ask that question in. That's going to change my answer. Neon Sphinx has a couple of questions for me. The first one being what are my thoughts on Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I don't know what that is, so I'm sorry. I don't have any thoughts on that. I apologize. What characters from a video game do I love but everyone else hates? And what character do I find the most annoying in a game? The character I love the most that I've seen a lot of hate for is Fidget from Dust. I've heard a lot of people call her annoying. I don't think so. I think she is adorable. Fidget made that game. There were so many great things about Dust, but Fidget was really cool, and I'm glad that she got the character development that she got. Go play Dust if you haven't played Dust. That's what I'm saying here. And as for a character I find the most annoying in any video game, Navi from Legend of Zelda. Robert Pratt wants to know if I watch Fairy Tail. I do not. Sorry. Rogue123987 asks, what is my favorite book? I am a very, 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 very unapologetically big Stephen King fan. But behind me, right now as I'm recording this, I have a bookshelf with, I'm not exaggerating, 63 Stephen King novels on it. 60 of them I have read, 3 of them I have not gotten to yet. And my favorite of his is Through the Eyes of a Dragon, which is sort of this medieval kind of story. It's with a lot of magic and monsters and dragons, and it's really cool. I love it. I've read it several times. Most of his books I read once, then I move on to the next. Through the Eyes of a Dragon is the one that I've gone to several times. One of my favorites. Probably not the most highbrow, classiest book ever written, but you know what? Screw it. I like what I like. The Downey Lover, 1994, wants to know if I like the Avengers and who my favorite Avenger is. I do like the Avengers. I liked the Avengers before the movie came out, but the movie really made them cool. And of course, Iron Man is my favorite because of Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of him is amazing. Both the True Brony and Collabs Shanks wants to know what other things I am a fan of besides MLP. My biggest fandoms outside of My Little Pony are Digimon, which I'm still a fan of, though really just the first three seasons of Digimon I still love very much. Welcome to Night Vale, which is so cool. It's a great free podcast. I even did a parody video, an MLP parody video of Welcome to Night Vale, which I called Welcome to Ponyville, which is in my channel if you want to see that. Though really, go listen to Welcome to Night Vale. I might put a link to it down in the description, or I might put it up here on the video at this point. Go listen to it. If you like, it's like a mixture of Lovecraftian horror mixed with, I guess, comedy, almost comedy. It's, imagine living in a town where outlandish Lovecraftian horrors happen so much that it's become boring commonplace. There is no way to describe Night Vale without making it sound less cool than it is. Go listen to Night Vale. Another thing, I'm also a big fan of basically anything with zombies in it. Games, movies, whatever. I love it. I don't know why I love it. I guess I have to thank Night of the Living Dead from that. Watching that when I was a kid, I fell in love with that movie. And since then, I just love the zombie culture. So that's definitely one of my other favorites. Turncoat asks, do I like MMORPGs? Not really. And this, like I said, I don't have the connection to play them. Even if I did, I really don't find a lot of fun in playing with a bunch of strangers. I don't see the point of MMOs. It's like, only you can save the world. You and these several million other people. And that actually wraps up other media questions. So from here, we're going to move into the more personal stuff. Bandit the Dog, once again, wants to know what my favorite person in the Brony community is. I guess, disclaimer, I will say who my favorite is. This is not anything against anyone who is not the person I'm about to name. I've seen so many cool and awesome people in this community. It's really one of, you know what? No, it is the best community I've ever been a part of. All of you guys are awesome. But the person who is my favorite, the person I really need to give a special shout out to is going to be ANY. Not just because he does great work, his videos are good, his topics are on point, he has a really good track record with putting out his stuff, but also just because ANY, in the time that I've gotten to speak with him and interact with him, has proven himself to be just a really cool person. He's been friendly, he's been outgoing. He is kind of the guy who really helped get me into the community. He opened doors for me and advertised for me and introduced me to people who I never would have met on my own, given me opportunities I never would have gotten on my own. He was one of my first subscribers to Candid Canned. You know what, ANY, on the off chance that you're listening right now, dude, thank you. Thank you so much for being awesome and for everything you've done and for all the stuff in the future. You're a good man. Bandit Dog has a second question about what caused me to join the Brony community in the first place. The community itself. You know, when MLP first came out, I wasn't really aware of it. It wasn't until I kept seeing all of these songs and pictures and comics that made me think, okay, maybe there's actually something to the show other than a rehash of a 1980s cartoon. So it was the community that really drew me into My Little Pony, that drew me into the community itself. If you are more interested in knowing what made me become an analyzer, that's a mixture of several things. One, I just like geeking out about things that I like watching, and the fact that we have such a large community means that I get to geek out with a bunch of other people. That's cool. The things that really gave me that shove forward would be the sort of step-by-step kind of how to become an analyzer if you're interested videos that ANY and Digibrony did, as well as Lethal Roar Mage's Halloween special. When I saw that, it's like, okay, these people are doing really cool stuff. I want to be a part of this. I want to be in things like this. This seems awesome. So I guess that all comes back to community again, doesn't it? It's all community. That's my favorite part. BeastPaws9 asks if I like cats or dogs. I enjoy both. I have owned cats and dogs all throughout my life. There has not been a point I have not owned either a cat or a dog or both. I grew up with them. I love them. I used to work with dogs. I don't anymore. I don't suggest working with dogs unless you really love dogs. I like dogs. I don't really love them. Cats are very independent. They're not a lot of work, but dogs provide a much better companionship. I have a cat right now. She's several years old. Her name is Ditzy. No relation to MLP. We got her long before Gen 4 came out. She's just really, really ditzy. She's a cute cat. She's adorable. She's fun. She is a cat, meaning that 99% of the time she wants to be left alone unless she wants someone to pay attention to her or feed her. Other than that, she doesn't care about me at all, which is fine. So, roundabout answer is both cats and dogs. I love both. Beethoven wants to know why I created my OC the way I did. You know what? You You might not be surprised to find out that my OC is very much a representation of myself. The hair is very, very close to what my hair was like when I first made him. It's shorter now because I cut it, but I am kind of growing it back out again. So I did have this very long, sort of combed over, shabby mess of hair. The suit, I like wearing suits. I enjoy wearing suits. I like vests. I like suit jackets. I like ties. I don't mind dressing up. So that's why my OC is very dressed up. I do wear glasses, like my OC does. I need these to see. Without them, I can only see up close. Anything farther away than like a few inches from my face just becomes a blurred mess. His coat is white because I'm an extremely white person. Like, I don't tan. I catch on fire and burn. His eyes and hair are green because, his hair is brown, but his highlights are green because my hair color is brown and green is one of my favorite colors. My eyes aren't green. I wish they were green. That'd be cool. But the reason I made his eyes and I gave him the highlights was because originally he didn't, and he looked really flat and boring because he was nothing but brown, white, and black. So I think the green was enough to really help him pop while still kind of being a good representation of what I like. Blooded Raven asks about the green in the hair and if that was a painting accident. Hey, be nice. I told you I like green. It's not a painting accident. Twilight gets to have 2 colored hair. Cadence gets to have 3 colors. Rainbow gets 7 colors, and I'm not allowed to have 2. Brave Love Meow and Amanda Miller both want to know what happened to Loathing.
Oh, don't you worry about that. I'm still very much here.
Crazy Cat 829X wants to know if I was transported to Equestria for a day and could do anything I wanted except for extend my time. Damn you for that stipulation. What would I do and why? Alright, I know what you're thinking. But the answer is no. It wouldn't be Luna and it wouldn't be Derpy. Though that's very tempting. What I would do, if I was at Equestria for a day, I would go to Twilight. I would sit down with her, and we would have a very, very, very lengthy discussion about the history of Equestria, the anatomy of ponies, the uses of magic, the different types of magic. I have so many damn questions about how that universe works. I can't think of anyone better than Twilight to explain it all to me. She would lose her mind. She would love it. There would be flashcards, and there would be chalkboards all over the place, and mountains of books. I would have all the information. Do you know how good my videos could be if I had that information? Elizabeth wants to know, how do I make my OCs, and if I use Pony Creator? Yes, it is Pony Creator. It's version 3.0. That is the one that lets you have the multiple head angles that lets you look in several different directions. The downside with version 3.0 is that it does not include any of the main 6 mains or tails, none of the Wonderbolt's outfits, and you cannot add a cutie mark. There's no option for that this time, which is fine for me, but would probably suck for the rest of you guys. So, use with caution. Hawkeye Kitty 12345. Oh wait, no. Hawkeye Kitty 12354. You tricked me. They want to know why I chose my pony to be an Earth pony. Like I said in my Earth pony video, I very much like the badass normal character. Anytime, like in any video game, that I get to choose my kind of character, I almost always make them very normal, how they would fit in our world more than their world, but they still manage to survive in this other, filled with tech or filled with monsters or filled with magic. I think it's so cool when you have someone that can hold their own against all of that. So, in a world where some ponies can fly and some can use magic, I just think being an Earth pony is really one of the coolest things. Kyrian asks what my view on clopping is. Oh boy, thank you for this question. Okay, if you're expecting me to go on a rant here, you're going to be disappointed. I don't have a problem with it. You know what? You masturbate to whatever you want to masturbate to. If it makes you happy, you enjoy it. And if that means clopping, you go ahead and clop, my friend. Rule 34 exists for a reason. There is porn of everything. If it exists, it has porn. Something as popular as MLP is not going to be any different. It doesn't matter if it's a kid's cartoon. Nothing is exempt from this rule. What I will say is that there is also a very strong community working to keep that Rule 34, that adult content, away from general search engines, and I think they're doing a very good job. If you do a Google search for any of the main 6, you're probably not going to find hopefully any of the adult content for them, because they are really, really rallying at reporting this stuff and taking it off of Google searches, just so kids don't come across this stuff. Because you got to remember who the core audience here is. You kind of have to be respectful towards that. I think as long as you're able to successfully rope off the adult stuff from the general public, I think it's fine. I really don't mind at all. Kitten-esque, Jay Smith, and Adian all want to know about my username. They all want to know about canned cream. Okay, you little pervs, listen up. It's not supposed to be dirty. Here's how that happened. This has nothing to do with MLP in any way. The name canned cream was something I came up years and years ago. I was signing up for a games website. It was like this online version of Pictionary, basically, I wanted to play. But you had to have an account to do it. And all of the usernames I had generally used had already been taken by the site. And so they wanted me to do, okay, hey, you this username, then put like 1, 2, 5, 7, 15 different numbers at the end. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't like having numbers in my username. I don't like it. So I kept trying to come up with ideas, and everything I was writing down was already taken. I was losing my mind. By the 10th, and I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say 10th attempt, for some reason, canned cream just popped into my head out of frustration. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. So I wrote that down, and to double my odds, I made it all lowercase, all one word, and lo and behold, it worked. And after that, I just weirdly kind of fell in love with it. Like, I liked the way it sounded. I liked the way it looked being all lowercase and all together like that. I just kept it. I kept it over to YouTube, and I decided instead of making a brand new channel for my MLP stuff, I would just use the one I already had. So that's why Canned Cream stayed. As for why the series is called Candid Canned, I just wanted it to have its own name to make it easier to look up if someone was interested in trying to find it, as well as to kind of give it its own identity. So that's why Canned Cream is the username, and Candid Canned is the name of the analysis show I do. Kittykins wants to know what are my political ideals and if I am religious. Because nothing brings a group of strangers together more than religion and politics. Wow. I approach both religion and politics pretty open-mindedly. I guess I associate more Democratic than Republican, though I think all politicians are equally stupid at times. And I am very open-minded about religious ideals. I don't have a religion myself. There is no one that I subscribe to. I have no problem with any religion. I don't have any problem with anyone who is religious. If religion is an important part of your life, if it really helps you as a person, that is awesome. You follow that. I will never tell you you can't believe in something. Really, the only thing that bothers me about religion is when someone really puts it down your throat, like tries to make you feel lesser for not believing what they believe. As long as you're not doing that, as long as you're not shoving your religion down someone else's throat, or even your lack of religion down someone else's throat, because it's just as bad when atheists go off about being atheists, it's just as shitty. As long as you're not doing that, as long as you're understanding that other people find fulfillment in life via other means, it's cool. It's all cool. Live your life, whatever makes you happy. As long as you're not going out of your way to be an asshole. Live your life, whatever makes you happiest. Super Comedy Doc wants to know, toast or bagels? Oh, even more dividing than religion or politics. Toast and bagels. Toast. Toast if it has strawberry jam on it. The strawberry jam is very important. Without that, neither one. The Twilight Hunter wants to know if I've ever met a wolf face-to-face. Question, does a zoo count as face-to-face? Because that's the only time. That being said, it is my pipe dream to one day own a pet wolf. Just to say, hey, this is my pet wolf. The Zarua team, am I saying that right? I'm probably not, I'm sorry. Asks, what's the funniest thing I ever did as a child? A story my mom told me that when I was a little kid, still sleeping in a crib. One day she was trying to put me down for a nap, so she put me in my room, she put me in my crib, and then she went down the hall into the kitchen. And I climbed out of the crib, and I, left my room, and she caught me, and she put me back, and I climbed out. Several times in a row, she put me in my crib, and I just climbed out because I didn't want to take a nap. And like by like the 5th or 6th time, she was getting so angry with me. And so when she called me out of there again, before she could yell at me, what she said I did was I put my hands on my hips. I looked at her and I go, I am getting really tired of this. And just something about the way I said it or the way I looked just made her bust up laughing. So she couldn't be mad at me anymore, which means I got out of trouble. So apparently, like, that's one of the funniest things I did as a kid. Trevor wants to know what I think about Cross and Arrow being so popular, and if I can show a mirror image of CC. I don't know what Cross and Arrow is. I apologize if that's something really popular and I should know. But about the Rule 63 CC? Totally. Let's check that out. Yeah. Look at that. That ends our personal questions. Let's move on to miscellaneous. Always Burning 227 wants to know why analyzers don't use full body animation. That's a good question. I can't speak for everyone, but I'm probably gonna say because it's very difficult, very time consuming, a lot of work. I think it's really just that really steep learning curve that it would take just hours and hours and hours to make even a very short video. And I think people are more intent on putting, of having more content than that. It's not a quality and quantity thing. I'm not saying that people are choosing quantity over quality. That's totally wrong because people make some really great stuff. I just think a lot of people who do this, they know what their limits are and they have a set line that they're not willing to cross. Like, I'm willing to put, X amount of effort into this amount of video because I still have to do all of these projects. I think that's probably why you don't see a lot of full body animation. It's just the difficulty of it. Ben Morton says he has a lot of questions. Where did I got the Season 5 info? That would be from ANY and my own butt, which I pulled it from. How do I watch an episode for the first time? I just go in to enjoy it. I don't go into an episode to analyze it or think about it. I just look to be entertained. So for the most part, I really enjoy what MLP gives me. Also wants to know how old I think Celestia is. She seems really old. You never ask a lady her age, Ben. Okay? They hate that. But Celestia is super old. Well, we know she's over 1,000 for God's sakes, so I don't know, maybe like 2,000 years old? Maybe more, maybe less? Blacks, EJ, Blacksidget? Blacksidges? BLAXEJ, however that's pronounced, I apologize, has a really lengthy but really, really nice comment about the Earth Pony Pride video I did, and I'm very glad that that video was meaningful to someone. I was really hoping that at least one person would find something good in that video to take to heart, and I'm glad you did. Thank you for this message. It was very nice. They also want to know, let's see, what other fandoms I'm in. Like I said, Night Vale, zombie stuff, superhero stuff I greatly enjoy. The first 3 seasons of a Digimon are also great. Who's my favorite in the CMC? That would be Squeaky Belle, I should say. I don't know whether that voice squeak of hers is just the voice actress going through her puberty, or whether or not she can do that manually. If that's the case, I hope she keeps that skill forever because it's adorable. Secondary character, again, Derpy and Luna, and asked if I will read their fanfic. Sure. I can't promise when I'll read it because, like I said, I'm really bad about reading things, but I will. Darth Chromax wants to know if I will marry them. The answer is yes. It will be a beautiful wedding, and I will be the prettiest girl there. My dress is going to be fabulous. Henna wants to know what I think of Lethal Aurora Mage's headcanon about Earth Ponies and their magic manes and magic tails. I think it was a cute video. I really liked it. She presented the argument well. I don't agree with it because I think Pinky's not a good example for anything. Because of her, unless it's insanity or Pinky related, because she just does whatever the hell she wants. And I think Applejack is kind of way too talented to kind of make her representation of all Earth Ponies. Mage, don't be mad. I don't agree. I think it's really cool what you did, but I don't agree. Don't be mad at me and don't hate me. Please? Please? Mage, don't be mad. Mage, I feel like you're mad. Don't be mad. Mage, are you mad? Yeah, you're mad. Mr. Martinez wants to know if I saw the animated Beat It video that James created. I did. It is really cool. I have that saved in my YouTube favorites because I need to go back and watch that like 100 more times. I love the cameos in that. So many cameos. It's awesome. Also wants to know what I expect to see in Season 5 of MLP. More Luna episodes. That's what I want to see. I want to see at least one more Luna episode. Maybe just some more screen time in general. She's in the opener. She should have more screen time. But then by that logic, Snips and Snails are also in the opener, and they definitely don't need more screen time. Ew, never mind. Forget I said anything. He also wants to know what I think of fan-made work and if it's approved. You know what? The fan-made work, that's what got me into this. I won't say it's improved. I'd say there's a lot more of it. I'd say the quality is as good as it ever was, because the quality has always been amazing. It's great stuff. The analyzing videos are great. The two Best Sisters videos are amazing. The Flufflepuff videos are amazing. The audio plays for Doctor Who's, both Doctor Who's and Assistant and Doctor Who's Adventures are both awesome. The Janimations videos, when those were still coming out, were great. So much cool stuff. And I guess that actually kind of answers part 4, which I did with before reading the comment aloud, which was my favorite fan-made content. Cat Omega Fan 090 wants to know if One Direction and Justin Bieber went into space and I got to choose which one to bring back, who would I choose and why? One Direction, I guess, because I don't have to listen to One Direction music at work, but Justin Bieber keeps playing on the overhead speakers and it's slowly driving me towards madness. Lightning Bliss wants to know if they can be a guest on my show. Oh, Lightning. That's adorable. Oh, thank you for asking. That's sweet. Thank you. I've actually, quite a few people have asked if they can do collabs or appear on the show, and I try to answer everybody. I feel like I probably didn't answer everybody, and I feel bad. I apologize if you asked for that and didn't get an answer from me. I'm sorry. That's really shitty. I should have answered. Right now, I am insanely backlogged on the projects I have to do because I have collab agreements with other people that some of which are being worked on now, some of which are still being written, some of which are still need to be started, as well as projects for Red Cord I still have to do, for Looney Turtle I still have to do. I made the mistake of taking on way more crap than I can handle at one time because my recording schedule is really, really narrow. I can't just record whenever. I need to be alone in the house so you guys don't hear all the background noise going on. And so since that rarely happens, I don't have the chance to do everything I should have done. Hopefully sometime in the future, when I start A, learning my limits better so I don't agree to 50,000 projects at once, and B, get more recording time. So it's a decline for now, but a maybe for the future, depending upon how things go. I'm very sorry. I know that's not the answer you want, and I apologize. And I don't want to make anyone feel bad, but I feel like I am, and I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Molly Evans has a list of 10 questions for me. Wants to know what got me interested in the Brony fandom, which was, of course, the fans itself. My favorite season of MLP, which was 4. How tall am I? That is 5'10". I feel very short when I'm around other people. It feels like every damn person in the world is taller than me. Do I eat cheese sandwich? There damn well better supposed to be an S on the end of that. Otherwise, you're implying something very dirty. Who is best background pony? Well, background pony would be Derpy, I guess. Unless, again, we're not counting Derpy anymore, then in which case it goes to Final Scratch. What got me started making videos? Again, that would be people like A&Y and Lethal Aurora and so many of our other analysis creators. They definitely inspired me to make the jump to try and do this, which so far has been working out pretty good. If you had to choose between Luna or Twilight, who would you marry? I'm sorry, Luna, that's not a contest. Do I like Southern music? I assume you mean country? No. You know what? I like all kinds of music. There's really like no one kind I enjoy, but there are some I do not enjoy. I do not enjoy country. There are a few country songs I like. Like I can name 3 country songs if you even want to count these country off the top of my head that I enjoy, and that's like Devil Went Down to Georgia, Cotton Eye Joe, and Before He Cheats. That's about it. Everything else I can think of is like Southern rock. If you're asking if I like Southern rock, yes. Country, no. Can you do any or all of the main 6 character voices? Are you insinuating I sound like a girl? Are you saying that I don't have a very manly, beautiful, robust voice? I am insulted. I can't do any of the main 6. I feel like I can do a pretty good Big Mac, though. Let me hold on. Let me try to... Biting off more than you can chew is exactly what I'm afraid of. Yep. Question 10. Why are you so awesome? I drink a lot of milk. It's good for your bones. Slender's Best Buddy asks, what programs do I use to animate your avatar and how much time does it take for a video to be made? My editing software is just Windows Movie Maker. It's about as simple and basic as you can get. If you have a Windows PC, you have Windows Movie Maker. If you have an Apple, I think it's iMovie. Basically, it's the same thing. It's simple, it's easy. Go ahead and use it if you got it. To animate him, like I said, all I'm using is Pony Creator version 3.0. A bunch of still images, so really all you're seeing is a slideshow. For the time it takes to make a video, I could do it all in a single day, but it would take pretty much the entire day. Writing the script takes a couple hours because I'm kind of a slow writer and kind of a perfectionist when it comes to that. Recording can take usually around half an hour to record, then about however long the video is to edit it, so maybe like 40 to 50 minutes to do an entire recording. Editing takes several hours, depending on the length of the video. And then everything else after that's pretty easy. Finding B-roll, background images, and background videos can be a pain in the butt sometimes. That and making sure I cite all the right people if I'm using their videos or using their images, because I don't want to just take anyone's work without linking back to the creator. So a couple hours to do. It's not a fast process, but it's not as long as it takes people like, I assume, Silver Quill, who it's got to take him days to put out the quality of work he does. I don't envy his workload. Slender also wants to know what will happen between Twilight and Flash Century in Season 5. Probably nothing, because last I heard, while Equestria Girls was canon, it does not interact with the main show. So I think Flash is going to continue being a background character at most. He also wants to know if he can help me out with any of my videos. I forgot to say this earlier. I should really say this. Even though I can't do a lot of collabs right now, and I'm not taking on any new collabs until I get through some of my old backlogs, as well as the collabs I already promised other people I would do, I'm always looking for ideas. I try my best to come up with all these original topics for you guys, stuff that I want to talk about, stuff that I think you would be interested in hearing. But having other people's ideas and, experiences and thoughts, you have no idea how much that helps me out. I've already done 2 videos so far that were suggestions from other people. One was Want It, Need It, Buy It, which was about what I think of MLP as a toy show, which was a suggestion, as well as the history of Equestria, which was another suggestion. The biggest way you guys can help me is if you have any ideas about things you want to hear me talk about or hear my thoughts of or hear my theories about, go ahead and post those ideas to me. You guys are what's going to help keep this show. If you like this show and you want to help keep going, those ideas are what's going to help do it. If I see something I like that I really think I can talk about, I will definitely, for sure, make a video about it, and I will definitely give you the credit for it. I will make sure to say, hey, this idea was thanks to blah, 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 and I'll leave a link to your webpage of any kind, whether that's a DeviantArt page or a Tumblr page, or if you have a YouTube page, I'll leave a link to that too so people can start looking at some of your stuff. So you help me, and you get some free advertising. So, come see, come saw. Sweetie Bloom asks, what is your name? Canned Cream. What is your quest? To find the Holy Grail? What is your favorite color? Blue. No, wait, green! Walter Vanderwolf wants to know what I would think about his Pony OC being made in 3D and has a singing voice for the Japanese program called UTAU. I'm not sure what that program is. That's cool. I say go for it. I think it's a good idea. I'm going to say, just for any of you guys, if you have an idea about what you'd like to do for a video or for your OC or just for anything, go for it. I mean, really, not even just MLP related. If you just have an idea for anything that sounds cool or fun, go for it. Don't be afraid to take... The hardest thing to do is always taking that first step. If you can do that, even if you fail at whatever you're doing, you've proven to yourself that you are able to take that risk. You can then learn from whatever didn't go right and apply it to whatever you do next. So you know what, Walter, what I'm going to say to you is go for it. It sounds like a cool idea. Do it. Everyone else, if you've got an idea, whether it's for an analysis video, for an OC, for a book you want to write, for a song you want to create, for an invention you want to make, for anything, do it. Just do it and see what happens. As long as it's not, killing someone. Don't kill people. Killing is bad. Don't do that. Other than that, you're good. And that is the end. Those are my questions. Wow, I feel like that ended on a surprisingly upbeat note. I'm happy about that. This video has already gone on for over an hour of me rambling. Maybe it'll be less when I kind of edit down the blank parts. There are quite a few parts where I kind of stumbled over myself and left some silences. I'm going to definitely edit that down for you guys. But mostly what you've heard today is sort of me rambling to you for an extended length of time about questions you had. If you left a question, I didn't answer it. I'm sorry. I thought I got to everybody. I might have missed some people. I really apologize if I missed your question. That's on me. That's nothing personal. That's because CC glubbed up. Thank you guys so very much for being here, for listening to me again. Again, you just mean so much to me when you're here, when you subscribe to me, when you leave your likes and your comments and your subscriptions and your thoughts. Thanks for making this project, which I was so sure was going to crash and burn after 2 episodes, 3 at most, for bringing me this far. I mean, it's been almost half a year I've been doing this, week in, week out, and you guys are making this worth doing. You're taking something that could be work, that could be mind-numbing, that could be monotonous, that could be annoying, and you're making it great. Guys, thank you. Seriously, thank you. Alright, well that was my 1000 Q&A special. I will see you again in my next video, and who knows, maybe there'll be a 2000 sub special coming up. Maybe a 3, maybe a 4, maybe a 5. So, thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay pony, my friends.